Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk. I'm doing another church to church walk, and I'm starting my first walk here at this church at Warminghurst, which is in West Sussex near Thakeham, very close to Ashington on the A24. And I'm starting this very important and delightful church with these amazing box pews here, which were at one time owned by families who would come in and listen to the priest. It's an isolated church now, but it was at one time very important. I've done a video about this particular church in the past, so I'm not going to go into any great detail about it now, but my walk is going to start from here. It's not a very long walk, and I'm going to walk over towards Thakeham, which is a church that's featured in a couple of my videos recently. I'm not really going to stop at that church, so this is sort of more a church to church and beyond. Yes, because the plan is then to get past Thakeham into an area called Bumblefield, and then there's some woodland there. It's about, I guess, 1.5 miles tops, really, not terribly far, but we've had a lot of wind recently. At the time I'm filming this, it's not been possible to get out and do stuff, so I've waited to later in the day. The wind is a little bit less than it was, so I'm going to go out and see how we do. Hope you can join me. Let's get going. It's a fascinating church. Thoroughly enjoyed having a quick look round it just to remind myself. The last time I went there was with my friend Martin Snow, who's a bit of a church authority. So if you're watching, Martin, as I say, go and check that video out. It's got all these lovely little fascinating features with a bricked up door and a extended outhouse bit area. It's got a fascinating bell cot, I suppose, with a spire, but a very old church. Interesting graveyard as well to go and have a look round, and I think they still hold services there from time to time, but just wonderful, just very, very beautiful, almost a snapshot in time, which is great. But we can't spend any more time on that, unfortunately. I'm going to be heading this way now along this field, which is going to take me to Thakeham. Hopefully, Thakeham is about 1 mile in that direction, so not a very big distance, as I say, and then I'm going to head north. This is footpath only, no bridle way, and across some farmland. So let's get on with it. So far, pretty uneventful, which is great. There's a field over here with cows in it, and I say uneventful because sometimes I have to wander through fields with cows and I'm just a little bit nervous of cows. So, you know, if you see one sneaking up behind me in any of these videos, do let me know. Yeah, a bit nervous of those. Fortunately, they are behind barbed wire, which is great. So I'm just following this track at the moment on my way to Thakeham. Interesting here is a lovely oak tree, and there's plenty of acorns. In fact, I think this year we're having a bumper crop of everything. I've seen rowan berries, trees with rowan berries just hanging very heavily. Blackberries are all ripe and ready to be picked, and we're only in early August as I film this, so you know, it's fascinating. But I read, interestingly, that in ancient times, you know, and we're talking probably going back to Neolithic times, Roman Britain times, that sort of thing, people were eating acorns. They were milling them up and using the flour to make bread and to make biscuits and that sort of thing. Apparently tastes pretty bland, tastes of nothing, so you spice it up with something and gobble it that way. But from the reading that I had, actually it was a great source of keeping you full for much longer than a lot of modern foods. Apparently the author had tested this out and he said, you know what, normally I get hungry by lunchtime, and I was able to go all day long. Don't know how true all of that is, but yeah, if you fancy having a go with acorns and gobbling them up, you're very welcome. Well, this took me a lot quicker than I imagined. Straight across those fields, through some lovely farmland with some farm buildings and what have you, just over the cattle grid, which you just saw me go over, and up this lane, and then that's Thakeham. So, you know, perhaps it's only half a mile, it's just round the corner. So we're going to get to the second church in a second, and then I'm in a bit of an area I don't really know at all. So that for me is quite interesting. But Thakeham should be just up here and on the right, and we'll have a quick look at the church and then we'll fly on. And here is Thakeham, pretty little village. This part of it, the old part, because there's lots of new builds around the other side, but let's not go into that because that sort of destroys the wonderful feel of the place, really. Church is just over there. We're going to have a quick look at that and then skedaddle on. It says here, Thakeham Halt welcomes walkers. Yes, well, it would do, only I think the seat has seen better days, but if you're passing and you need a rest, this is the perfect place. Little quiet contemplation by what looks like a cherry tree in front of me. You've got the church over there, the car park, St Mary's car park for the church, which is just on the hill over there, and behind me here is the public footpath that goes on where I'm going to be headed next. So I'm going to leave this rickety seat where it is, hopefully it doesn't collapse, and carry on this way. There's a stile here, tempted to go over. Beautiful field of corn. I like wandering through fields of corn, especially if the farmer the path is actually going through the centre of it. I did that in a fairly recent walk and it was just so delightful. It's as high as you, which is great. However, I know looking at the map that this field, this footpath just goes around the edge of the field. So for me, not as enjoyable. But anyway, my route doesn't go up there, even though it's a lovely field of sweet corn. We're just going up this lane. There was a sign earlier that said there were wind damaged trees on the pathway, probably hanging overhead and likely to fall down. Fortunately, nothing happened. I am still here and intact. Right, let's carry on up the lane. Well, that's a curious little building, isn't it, just behind me there? It's a little tiny square building with a big window you can see in. There's just a table on the inside and then a stairs that goes up. I don't know if that's where somebody lives or it's perhaps an office or a meeting room within a bit of land overlooking. Terrific view though to the north, and I bet on a clear day you can see right up to Leith Hill or somewhere like that on the Surrey Hills and on the North Downs, which is in that way. But beautiful, lovely vantage. According to the Met Office, it was supposed to brighten up at about 3 to 4ish, which is now when I'm walking this afternoon. Unfortunately, it's still been a bit cloudy and dull, so I hope that's not marred your enjoyment of the video. I've come off this gravel path and I'm now going to take a little route up towards where the woods are. So I guess that's Bumblefield up there. Looking forward to it. The wind has got up a little bit, so I'm quite pleased to be walking by this pretty thick hedge. And actually, it's quite amazing really, because all along here, fresh fruit is available for you. Elderberries from the elder tree, they're all ready now. They're big bunches of black berries ready to make all that elderberry wine or cordial, whatever is your fancy. I'm standing under a hazel tree with lots of hazelnuts. Let's see if I can grab one of these. Yeah, I've got some hazelnuts there, look. Don't know if you can see those. Probably won't focus on them, but they're not quite ready. They're not quite ready. But again, I've seen loads and loads of hazelnuts everywhere, which is great. So come back, probably feed off those. And further along, blackberries, copious amounts of blackberries, and we're still in August. I always thought blackberries came out in September, so maybe I've got that wrong, but all along here, very heavily laden, which is terrific. We've had such a great year for bumper crops. I don't know if you can keep hearing my phone pinging around messages. I meant to put it on silent. Anyway, with not much further to go, and then that's going to be our walk complete. But let's see if we can get down into the woods. That's a sweet chestnut tree, and very soon sweet chestnuts are going to be raining down. What's this down here? That's an acorn. I should take that home. It's a bit of a young acorn, but I might take that home, see if I can maybe plant it, who knows, or mill it up and eat it, like I said with that other tree that we saw, which was another oak. Well, I've reached my destination. Of course, this is the most exciting bit, going into a woodland for the first time and discovering what sort of trees there are, what you've got. There's some ferns around me, ferns as opposed to bracken, because ferns come out like this, and bracken comes out more like that, with the stems, the branches, if you like, coming off the main stem. There are some oak trees here, clearly, because I had an acorn, some sweet chestnut. But what else? Well, I'm going to have to come back another day, maybe bring the lovely Julia here, and we'll go and investigate this particular wood. I think it's quite nice. There's obviously public footpath through it, lots to see. Must be pretty old. There's some holly hereby, so I think it's got a feel of ancient woodland, but who knows, need to do a bit of research. Anyway, come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, of course. Don't forget to put a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. That would be much appreciated. It really helps getting the videos to more people so that we can do more things. You can of course become a patron, which helps me get out and about. But very exciting point to leave my walk with this tantalizing footpath that goes on behind me. But like all good things, it comes to an end. I will return. Till then, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.